Doctor Sleep is a 2019 American psychological film based on the 2013 novel of the same name by Stephen King, which acts as a sequel to King's 1977 novel The Shining, as well as the film being the sequel to the Shining film made in 1980 of the same name by Stanley Kubrick. Doctor Sleep is written, directed, and edited by Mike Flanagan and stars Ewan McGregor as Dan Torrance, a man with psychological abilities who struggles with childhood trauma. Basically, this dude is basically all grown up kid from the 80s Shining film, and he's basically kind of dealing with the aftermath of that. And yeah, a lot of stuff happens in this film when a little teenage girl starts having the shining and starts to see that a group of bad people are after people with shining abilities like Rebecca Ferguson and other people. And let's really get into like the main plot of the film, to be honest with you, because I only gave a brief outline of it. And yeah, struggling with alcoholism, Dan Torrance remains traumatized by the sinister events that occurred at the Overlook Hotel when he was a child. His hopes for a peaceful existence soon become shattered when he meets Abra, a teen who shares his extraordinary gift of the shine. Together they form an unlikely alliance to battle the True Knot, a cult whose members try to feed off the shine of innocence to become immortal. Ooh. So I'm trying to be spooky, yeah. Anyway, the character Danny Torrance first appeared in King's novel and Kubrick's adaptation as the child with psychic abilities called The Shining. The novel Doctor Sleep and its film adaptation feature Dan Torrance as an adult. Flanagan said that the film Doctor Sleep is an adaptation of King's novel, but it would also exist in the same cinematic universe as Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, thus making the film not only an adaptation of a sequel, but a sequel and of itself. Trippy, isn't it? The director said he made an effort to reconcile the differences between Shining's novel and the film. WB Pictures began developing a film adaptation after Doctor Sleep was published in 2013, and yeah, it premiered in Europe on Halloween today, and is scheduled to be released on November the 8th in US countries. And the film has gone on to receive positive reviews from critics praising Ewan McGregor's performance, I can't say this girl's name, Kylie Curran's performance, and Rebecca Ferguson's. The atmosphere, musical score, and faithfulness to the Kubrick's film and novel were also praised as well. But what do I think of this film? Well, before I talk about it, let's talk about what I didn't like about it. Let's just get on with like the things I liked about it. Let's talk about the good of this film. And I have to admit, I'm gonna give the guys credit who made this film. They managed to make an original flick. Like, going into this film, like, basically, I literally just watched Shining in cinemas like a week ago because it was the 40th anniversary of the film, and it was pretty great. You know, it wasn't as great as I remembered it, but it was still pretty phenomenal. You know, I love the cinematography, I love the shots, I love Jack Nicholson's performance and all that jazz. Like, I thought the whole atmosphere and pacing was just so tense and interesting, and it was really great, you know. So going into this film, I instantly knew it was going to be crap. I knew it wasn't going to be as good as the original, you know. And I didn't really watch the trailer, so I kind of thought it was going to, like, the entire film was going to be set in the house, you know, the hotel. So I was expecting to go into the cinema and be like, oh, we're going to go back to the house and it's going to go do the whole thing all over again, and oh my gosh. But no, like, the first two acts of the film isn't set into the house. It's an original flick, you know. It's just the kid, well, the all grown up Ewan McGregor child, dealing with what happened and trying to like go back to normality. And then this kid basically communicates with him and tells him that these people are after children with shining abilities, and yeah, like I found that whole sequence to be very weird. It's weird, but I will definitely praise it for being original and at least not being a carbon copy of The Shining. You can't say this film and The Shining are the same film because, dude, they are different films entirely, And yeah, it's not your typical horror film where it's like ghosts in the cupboards, jump scares, and all that. It does have very subtle moments of horror, you know, like a group of like weird people like kidnapping a child and like killing him and eating his soul. It's disturbing and horrifying at the same time. And just little things like that make this film even creepier. It's just really great. And I like how towards the end we returned to the house and it was the final act. Something Chris Stuckman mentioned, that how he really appreciated how the film, made the fan servicey stuff the final act. So it's like it kind of leaves an impact on you. So it's like all the stuff you remember from the first film, let's have it in the final act as the conclusion. It was a great way to end the film, to be honest with you. And I thought, yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense in a way. Yeah, it does. Um, yeah, cool. I also like the performance of Ewan McGregor. I didn't recognize him in this role at first because every time I see him on the big screen, I kind of don't recognize him. I'm so used to seeing him as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm sorry, but you know, I keep forgetting he's aged. So yeah, this dude can act. Like, oh my gosh, this dude was just, he was amazing. Like, I couldn't believe how well he acted in this role. He plays this really traumatized man trying to deal with the effects of what happened before. And it's just such a great performance. It's gritty. He can really get dive deep into it. But I think that the child actress, the Kylia Curran, like the little girl, she really did really well. Like, I flipping loved her performance. Those two really did work. Like, I like the chemistry between them, like, really well, really great, just a wonderful. I like also like the visual shots, like the visual look of this film. It kind of captured the flair and the oomph that the original one had. Like, it's able to do that but also add new stuff to it that makes it a bit more interesting. Like, it's a shot where Ewan McGregor's character walks towards, he's writing on the chalkboard, and the camera pans to the door and he walks out of the door, and then the camera pans to the chalkboard. I don't know, just something like that was just really well done, and I just liked it. It kind of gave a creepiness to it, and yeah, it's really great. My mixed aspects of the film. I'm not a fan of Rebecca Ferguson's character. I didn't really get it. I understood why the villains were doing what they were doing, but they didn't do it for me. Mixed aspects of the film. Okay, this is more negatives. I didn't really like the way they reshot some of the scenes. I would have accepted the film a little bit more if they just used the clips for the past, but they remade the shots with new actors, and I don't know why, but I didn't like it. I didn't feel like it. Okay, I understand that it's a sequel, but it's just, I kind of wish they used the actual clips for the flashbacks. Like, instead of like reshooting it, because these actors look nothing like the original actors, and it was so damn distracting. They even make an entire original sequence which is set like a few days after the events of The Shining, and it's weird. I don't know, I get it, but at the same time yeah, it's nah. I wish he just started off with the child all grown up, like that would have made more sense. But I suppose this is what they wanted to do. This is kind of the path they wanted to choose in a way, and I can't accept the film for that. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna say it's my favorite film of the year. It's one I'm gonna forget very quickly. But I'd recommend going and watching it. Like, there's a lot of interesting stuff that happens, but it doesn't really appeal to me. It kind of has some, like, I don't know, it's just weird horror. It's kind of this, I don't know how to explain it, but you just got to go and see it, you know. Go watch this film right now. And I'll give this film a B minus. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I mean, I did like some of the visual shots, they were great, and the main characters were really great, but I wasn't a fan of the villains, and I didn't really like the plot. I didn't really like it. I didn't see the point of this film even existing, to be honest with you. I kind of just liked The Shining, you know, the first one, it just ended like that. I didn't, I don't, I, this film didn't need a sequel. Just go watch the original Shining. It's so great. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. As always, signing out.